It is Wednesday night, and I'm getting ready to fly out to Southern California tomorrow afternoon. And I wanted to do a little bit of a packing video. I'll be going for 4 days, 3 nights for a church conference. And it's important to know that it's a church conference because it does affect the way I pack. I need to pack up some button up shirts, long pants, a few ties. So if I was going casually, my packing would be totally different actually. I'd actually have more room to pack. So I'm taking Spirit Airlines, and some people don't have anything nice to say about Spirit. I haven't had any real big issues with Spirit. You kind of have to know what you're getting yourself into. So the prices are usually way cheaper, but they charge for everything. So if you can if you can weigh the cost of how much they're charging additionally plus how cheap the tickets are, then you have to make that decision. And of course, I don't have too many choices when it comes to flying from Philly to LA as far as times. And Spirit tends to have the best routes. They have a direct route and best times for my needs. So my choices are limited, but I haven't had too many complaints with Spirit. But they do charge for check-ins, of course, like most airlines do, or all airlines except for Southwest. But they charge for carry-ons as well. So some airlines are starting to do this. They also charge for picking your seat. I know some airlines do that. And they also charge for printing out your boarding pass at the airport. So save some money and print it at home. But one thing they do allow is a personal item, and this personal item can be 18 inches by 14 inches by 8 inches. So it has to fit in this little box at the airport. Um, but I wanted to show you how I'm packing for this trip. I just wanted to bring only a personal item and not pay for a carry-on, so or a check-in bag. Now, I did pay to pick a seat because I didn't want the chance of being on a longer flight and being in a middle seat. So I definitely need an aisle seat for these longer flights. So anyway, I'm going to show you how I packed. I actually have everything packed already. I'm just going to do a deconstruction of it and just kind of show you how I packed. Okay, so this is the backpack I'm bringing. It is, I forget the brand to it. I'm going to link it in the description below, but I've seen this style of backpack used under a number of names. So I think it's probably made by one place and just rebranded a couple of times, maybe a place in China or something. So, but it has a number of good features. See, there's a little bit of a lock here, so I can clip my the zippers here. So if I'm at a coffee shop or even on the plane, it doesn't have any TSA lock key there, so may not be the best going through security. Then it also has a USB out pass through and an audio out pass through, so I'll show you where those connect later. But I'm going to go through the main compartment first and then get to the more interesting spot there. But the main compartment mainly has my clothes, my iPad's in there, and my external battery is in there, which supplies power to this thing. And then up here is a lot of the miscellaneous tech that I bring, chargers, different things I need to do a little bit of work on this trip. So going through this main compartment, first thing you'll see is I have my toiletries, toothbrush, hair gel, everything. Don't need to go through that in detail. Let's put that over there. Let's see, I have an extra bag for laundry, miscellaneous things if I want to use this on the way back, because I'm flying Alaska on the way back, so I can do a carry-on for free. Got this at a conference, a tech conference. Let's go to, oh yeah, let's pull out my iPad. It's my 2018 iPad. with pencil support. I got the Apple Pencil there. And this case is really nice. I'll also link it in the description below. But yep. Then I also have an external battery. This is a RAV Power 20,100 milliamp battery. It's 2 USB-A ports, 1 micro USB, and 1 Type-C. I can actually charge my MacBook Pro with this thing very slowly, but it still does the job. So this thing is awesome. I would recommend this for sure. Links in the description below. Okay, so I'm really a big fan of these packing cubes, and I think the company Eagle Creek made these very popular. But of course, like everything that Amazon sells, they see what's popular, and then sometimes they get into the business. So this is an Amazon Basics one. But basically in this cube, I have my button-up shirts, a pair of pants, some ties, and some long sleeve shirts for layering. I'm going to Southern California, so it's not going to be that cold. Maybe in the evenings. So yeah, so I'm a big fan of these cubes. I do have one more cube in here, and this one actually is made by Eagle Creek, but this thing is so packed. I have shirts, 4 t-shirts, some sweatpants for pajamas, my socks and underwear in here, and this thing is just very packed. So I'm a big fan of these cubes. And of course, if I wasn't going to a church conference, then this packing would be very different. I would actually be able to bring other things, but it's kind of good. It's kind of forcing me to bring only my bare essentials. And then within this main compartment, there's a few pockets that I'm not using right now. Here's the USB cable. Here's the audio cable, which I don't find useful, but I find the USB cable pretty useful. So I don't have to take out this battery if I hook it up. Now, on this trip, I'm going to be doing a little bit of work while I travel in the evenings as well. But for traveling, I have my go-to earphones. These are the Shure 215s. They have these foam tips that really isolate the sound. I have my USB-C to audio cable in there to hook up to my Pixel phone, Pixel 3. Let's see. Now because, okay, let me just get to the rest of this. This is a GoPro battery charger. My GoPro would go there if I wasn't filming on it. Let's go to the cables first, down in this pocket. 2 micro USB cables that I need for various reasons. Let's see, where's the other one here? I have a lightning cable and a USB-A to USB-C cable, which charges my phone, charges my GoPro batteries, and if I ever got an iPad Pro, that would have USB-C as well. I have a case here for my Apple wireless keyboard. This is the first gen one. This is not the Magic keyboard, but anyway, this one is nice. Folds up. I could put it on a desk. This is the origami thing. And I could put a tablet right on top of there. So that's pretty nice. Because I'm only bringing an iPad and I want to do some work, I definitely need a full-size keyboard, so that's why I'm bringing that. I was thinking about getting an iPad case, but the keyboard keys are just way too cramped for me. USB-A charger by Anker. And the last two things are pretty interesting. So this is RAV Power File Hub Plus. So what this is a travel router, USB power bank, and also a way that I can wirelessly transfer files off my SD card. So even off my Sony card too. So I can do that through the app, my phone app, or the app on my iPad. Okay, so the work that I do is web development, and the type of web development I do requires a web server most of the time, or requires a Linux environment. And so I can do that through my iPad if I remote into another server, but that requires an internet connection. So sometimes I don't have an internet connection, and so I need to have a kind of Linux environment or Linux server. And so with my MacBook Pro, of course, that's already built in. But with an iPad, there's nothing built in for that. So I bring in my own Linux server, which is a Raspberry Pi. So this acts as the router. This connects to the router. My iPad connects to the router, and I can connect to my mini server here, or my mini computer here. So it's a little bit of overkill. I'll do a separate video on web development on this thing, but it's the essentials that I need to get some work done. So yeah, that's about it. This is how I'm going to save a little money. Just bring in a personal item, and if you have any questions, let me know. But I'll show you a picture of all this fitting in that little box at Spirit Airlines. Anyway, until the next time, bye.